53 days ago, I made a decision that could potentially change the entire trajectory of my life. Pursuing a passion. And ever since then, I've been going after what I want. Not what everyone around me want, not what I think I should want, and not what my very, very loving parents want me to do. Does that make me selfish? I don't know, probably at this point, but it's been pretty exciting so far, and I think you can honestly take a lot from it. So, let me give you some context. I'm currently 18, and I moved to the US when I was 12 years old. So, it was very different, and buildings were so high, it was a brand new language and a new culture, but I adapted pretty fast. And as I went to school here, and there was always a joke that me and my family had, which was pretty funny. How teachers would already tell kids that they need to be good, even in middle school and elementary, that they need to get good grades so that they can get into a good high school, so they can get into a good college, so they can find a good job. And in reality, that was probably the same plan that they had for us when we were in Israel. But it was very funny that it was already articulated like that to little kids. And right now, I'm 18. I'm in my senior year of high school. So naturally, after I finished the last few months of SAT prep, I started working on my college apps. But as I was working on them for the last few months, and I don't know if you ever watched my last few videos, but I had a problem of procrastinating. I just kept procrastinating all the time. Like I would do a little bit of work, and then I would end up like trying to change the brown noise playlist and accidentally press on some video and end up watching that for a couple hours or scrolling or whatever it may be. And that really hurt me because like naturally I like to think of myself as a very disciplined, hardworking person. So even those days I had my whole day scheduled and planned to put so many hours towards my goals, but then it just went away. That really hurt my ego a lot. And you know, I think we're all influenced by the content that we consume. I mean, obviously we all are. That's not really something that you can argue against. And I don't know what you watch, but I like to watch a lot of business masculinity content, especially before when I was more watching YouTube stuff. Now I don't really, and I'll get into that later. But if you watch that sort of content, uh, you're very familiar with the idea of college is a scam and how bad college is. There's so much money and there's so much uh, time that you could be spent doing other stuff. And I think that was kind of at the back of my mind. And I knew that I didn't really feel that excited about going to college, but I was spending all of my day, every single day, towards writing essays. And that's probably why I procrastinated so much, and I knew that. But at the same time, I didn't have a different plan. So I just went along with it. And and I think that probably was the right thing. Yeah. I mean, other than figuring out a plan. But if you're not gonna make your own plan, what else are you gonna do, right? And this one day, I watched a video by Alex Hormozy. He's a business guy, and he spoke about a conversation that he had with his neighbor, um, that was in college, and that conversation actually convinced him to drop out of college. And he broke down a lot of things in that conversation that I'm not gonna get into, but about the opportunity cost, and he ended up convincing the kid to get into sales. And whatever he did, he sold me on that idea too. I just knew that's something that I want to pursue. And I've kind of already known, having watched so many business YouTube videos in the past, that sales is very good, something that you could get into, especially if you want to be an entrepreneur like me. And I remember watching sales videos before a year or two ago. I would watch a car salesman just saying objections just for fun, and then I had another phase where I would just watch cold calls and see how people do with that. So I'd already had that idea in my mind, and that day I decided I was gonna try to do it. I was still working on my college apps. I'm pretty sure I was procrastinating writing some college supplemental when I was watching that video. Probably was. That's what I was doing every day. And and I still knew that I was gonna finish my college applications. And that wasn't really something that I thought, okay, I'm just gonna drop it. But from that day, I was like, okay, I need to lock in with these college applications, finish them as fast as possible, make them the best I can to have the best opportunities. But as soon as those are done, I'm finding how I can actually get into sales, not just why it's good. And I'm gonna do it. In worst case scenario, I just have a few options. So I was like, everybody else are gonna have all of those options of schools. I just have all those options of schools and those options of jobs that I could do. So, long story short, I finished my college apps, and the entire time I started procrastinating a lot less. After I had that goal in mind, and I kept it there the entire time. And the same day that I finished my college apps, I searched up on YouTube how to get into sales, and I couldn't find it. The only video that I found was one guy from 2 years ago who had a raw video with no edits, so I didn't trust him, ironically enough. And yeah, and that was on tech sales. And I was like, why would I want to sell tech? I want to sell cars, and that seems weird. But I kept looking into it, and I listened to what he said, and it was very interesting. And I kept looking and looking and looking and researching. And I think that was actually before I finished my college apps. I just watched that one video, and I kept working on my apps as well after that. And then I kept that in mind after I searched it up again. I did more, I dove into it, and for a week I had that in mind. But I had like a couple more college apps, and then I finished them, and I went all in, and I started studying more. And I saw that course that I've already known that I was gonna buy. So then I had a conversation with my father that I put off for a week. That was probably the week that I was learning, just because I put that conversation off. And because I bought a course that was $700, and it was my own money, money that I worked for since freshman year, and probably before that, and I never really spent any of the money that I have, but I still needed to convince my father uh, to let me buy the course. I mean, it's $700. Why wouldn't he be skeptical? I chose a really bad time to do it, also. But that's where this story begins. I decided to break into tech sales as an 18-year-old in high school without a college degree. So for the last 43 days, I've been going after it. So I got that course, and guess what? These last few weeks, I've had so many rejections on a daily basis, and it's still been the most fulfilling weeks of my life. And I still got a long way to go, but I've been able to see some success, and that success is so fun. I went from having such a hard time to put devices away and focus for an hour, 30 minutes, 25 minutes. I went down from being able to, for the SAT, I was able to focus because it was a test. And that's easy, it's just numbers and getting my numbers up, and there's a very clear goal. But writing supplemental essay really broke me. I was not able to focus. And I went from that to being so locked in a room that I couldn't even hear that my mom was talking to me through the door because I was so focused on the work. It gives me a reason to wake up and work hard every single day. Now, I've had a little bit of success, and it seems like I'm going to be able to do it, right? And I'm just 18. I have no idea where my life will go, and I'm not gonna try to act like I have it all figured out. But right now, I just set a goal, and I don't like losing. And yeah, now, mom and dad, if you're listening to this and not just clicking on the video for the retention, I know this is scary for you. Um, and I don't have it all figured out, but and I have a long way to go, and I'm embracing the journey. And I don't know what the right answer is. It might be college, It might not be, but I think that's something that I'll need to figure out on myself. In worst case, I find a job for a little bit. I work, I learn so much, and then I go to college. But I'm gonna listen to the advice that I gave in my last film that I made, which was to take it one step at a time. And right now, I'm giving 110% to that step, every single step. And it's been so fulfilling to be able to see some results. And I'm getting close to it. I'm getting so close. And something that I've been imagining, I don't know why, but I'm going to share this with you. I guess I do know why deep down. And like on the graduation day, the decision day, whatever it is, like there's a point where in my school they're gonna call everybody's names and say what college they're each going to. But for some reason, it's been giving me so much motivation to be on that group of kids that says like other planning, that's not going to college. I don't know why, but that's been so motivating for me. And I guess because it's so unexpected. And I'm getting some good opportunities, man. I'm getting pretty close to a company where I get paid 90K a year, but also really solid. And I can make more than that too, because it's up to me. That's why I like sales so much. I hope if I work harder, I'm going to get more rewarded for that. And there's such clear opportunities for growth within companies to be able to move up, make a lot more than that based on your performance because it's just numbers. And I mean, I have an interview for a company that's $110 a year, 120, and I'm getting close. I'm getting better, and I've put a lot of work into it. And I feel like I'm talking in circles now, so I'm gonna take a look at what I'm supposed to say next. Yeah, I mean, going back to talking to you, mom and dad, I have no idea what I'm gonna do, but I'm 18, and when else am I gonna have these opportunities? Like I've had so many thoughts over the last few weeks of course, on the one side, I love staying here. I love to be here, work, and just save 100% of the money that I make, and but then on the other hand, I had thoughts of just not really as much lately, but just going to a different state where I don't know anyone and just starting life there because I'm 18. And then I had thoughts of working a remote job so I could just work from some third world country and explore. I don't know, man. But yeah, I'm just gonna see where life takes me for now. And if I need college, then I'll take college. But it'll be alright. I just know that it's gonna work out, and it's been feeling very good lately. But whatever happens, I promise to be authentic to myself. That's the problem, and I will do whatever I need to do to get to where I need to go because I've been enjoying this so much. Like my mom was telling me that too. I had a conversation with her. You could just tell, and like I've been able to work and like those little like interviews, even like not just getting moved with the emails where I get moved to the next part, but after I have a good performance on an interview, like I've had some moments where I filmed on camera. I'm just like this. I can't stop smiling because it just feels so good. All those hours that I put to work. And I know that it's gonna be the same way on the actual job because it's a job that comes with so much no every single day, failure after failure after failure. But then you get a yes, and that yes gets you more money, more numbers, more opportunities for growth. But I think for me, I haven't even really been thinking about money. I'm just so competitive that I want to do it now. And like I could have a cold call and someone's so mad and hangs up, or just so many like 20 people in a row, nobody even answers, and then just like sometimes I just wish they answer to hang up or yell at me, but then out of nowhere I have one that's so good on the last one of the day, and I'm just smiling. I'm going to the gym. I'm like I don't know, skipping out of happiness, and it's so funny, and that's how I know I'm doing the right thing. So if you're watching this and you've had anything that you've thought, like, what if I do this? What are they gonna think? You don't have to tell them, first of all. At least just try and see if you can make it in the first place. I guess that's what I'm doing with this YouTube channel, which, oh my gosh, if you've been watching. like one video every 2 months is getting a little embarrassing. So I'm gonna scale it up a lot this week and more raw footage, I guess, just so I can actually post. But I mean, worst case scenario, you'll just have a cool story to tell to your grandkids. That's what I've been thinking. Like, okay, so I was an 18-year-old stubborn kid that just decided to go against all the odds. It was so blindly confident, probably a little egotistical, and yeah. But I think it's gonna work out, honestly. Like, it's been so fun recently. Like, I had a really good conversation yesterday, and I'm just starting to see the momentum. I guess that's something that's very important. And I'm yapping right now like crazy. But something that I'm gonna try to do is just upload these videos as soon as I talk. It might not be the best way to optimize, but I just need to post some videos. So a lot of videos are gonna come very soon. I'm gonna try to get one every other day, and please hold me accountable to that. I'm gonna respond to every comments. I'm really gonna try to put it real quick before I end the video. And like I tried, like I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel for so long, and I've been speaking about that in these videos. I've uploaded like one over the last 2 years, every month or every 2 months. And because I put a lot of work into those videos, and I have so many other things, whether it was SAT or college apps or looking for a sales job, and I'm just gonna find a way to make these videos just talking to the camera even more raw than it was today, because today I had sound planning because this was going to be a movie, this was going to be a film, but I decided to just turn the script into a like talking uh, track. And yeah, I really appreciate it if you watch it this far. There's probably like one of you at most. I'd be surprised if there's one person watching this right now who doesn't know me. And yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna make a lot of videos soon, and I appreciate you. Bye bye.